Welcome to my channel Iconic Learn. So today we are going to discuss science term 2 paper which was held on 10th May. So section A, first question, mention the function of placenta, fallopian tube, uterus and ovary in the human female reproductive system. So it is really easy question. You have to just write a function of placenta. Placenta helps in helps fetus to for nourishment, respiration, excretion and all transmission of nutrients is from the placenta only. All that and the fallopian tubes in which the ova or egg cells are transferred to the uterus, and in the fallopian tube only there is fertilization. So again the uterus you have to just write there is the baby is formed in the uterus and it is kept in the gestation period, whole gestation period. The uterus, it is baby is inside the uterus, and ovary in a human female reproductive system. So it is a really easy. Ovary produces ova or egg cells, which is the primary part for reproductive system. And the second question, using a height, tallness or roughness of a plant as an example, so that genes control the characteristic or a trait in an organism. So this is also really easy question. You have to just take capital T as a tallness and small t as a roughness, and then you have to just draw a flow chart in which you can explain how the genes control the traits. Like in F1 generation there are only tall plants, and in F2 generation there are in the 3:1 plant. So genes decides the traits of an organism. In the OR question, in a cross between the red colored and white colored flowers, when plants with the red colored flowers of F1 generation were self-pollinated, plants of F2 generation were obtained, which 75% of the plants were red flowers and 25% of plants were the white flowers. So explain the inheritance of traits in the above cross with the help of a flow chart only along the ratio of the plants obtained. So it is also a very similar question to the first one, and as you have to just draw a flow chart in which you have to draw if F1 generation in which only red color flowers are obtained, and then in F2 generation the red color is a 3/4 and white color is 1/4 of the total. So that is a 3:1 and or 75% or 25%. And now question number 3. Question number 3 was really easy also. Consider the following molecular formula of the carbon compounds, that is CH3COOH, CH3OH, C2H6, C3H4, C4H8. So first question was that which one of these compounds belong to the homologous series of alcohols. So of course that is methanol, CH3OH, that is a methanol, and which is belong to the homologous series of alcohols. And the second question, identify the molecular compound having a triple bond between a carbon-carbon atoms. So of course that is the alkyne series in which CnH2n-2, we have to just find that compound, that is C3H4. And now question number C, write the molecular formula of the first member of the homologous series to which CH3COOH belongs. So that is methanoic acid, means CH3COOH is ethanoic acid, but the first one is methanoic acid, and which formula is HCOOH. And they write the general formula of the series to which the compound HC4H8 belongs. So that is CnH2n, that is from the alkene. Now the question number 4 from our environment chapter, the improvement in our lifestyle has led to the generation of a large amount of waste material. List 2 reasons to justify this statement. So in this you have to just write like that we have increased the use of polythenes, packaged foods and canned foods, all that stuff that are non-biodegradable wastes. And in the OR question, the change in packaging has resulted in a waste becoming non-biodegradable. Giving to example from daily life justify this statement. So examples like again snacks we used which are packed in a plastic bag, and polythenes we use. So they both are non-biodegradable wastes, and they are waste. Okay, so that is also very easy question. Now question number 5, what is regeneration? Explain the process of regeneration in planaria. So we have to explain what is regeneration in planaria. Regeneration is a form of asexual reproduction in which the planaria, like for example planaria, have ability to regrow its lost part and also from the lost plastic can be regrown a whole body part. So you have to write that all that stuff only, that if we cut a an area, then that lost part will get regrown because the cell will convert into tissue and regenerate talent, all that. Okay, question number 6, as shown in the diagram. Okay, first of all the diagram. So in this diagram they have said that a magnetic field is vertically upward and electric current is moving from B to A. So we have to find the the question is, what is observed when the current is passed through the aluminum rod from end B to end A. So by using Fleming's left hand rule, we can easily state that force will be into the plane that is towards the south of the magnetic pole. So the AB rod will move towards the south of the magnetic pole. What change is observed in a situation in which the axis of the rod AB is moved and aligned parallel to the magnetic field and current is passed to in the rod in the same direction? So it is the also same one, means not the same, but it is a parallel. So parallel means 0 degree or 180 degree, and if it is 0 degree or 180 degree, that means there is no force applied in that rod, on that rod. Now magnetic field is a physical quantity that has a both direction and magnitude. How can this statement can be proved with the help of magnetic field lines of a bar magnet? So this statement can be proved by magnetic field lines bar magnet, because magnetic field lines give direction of the field, and like it originate from north and comes towards the south. And also we can also contradict the statement by contradicting that if they both parallel, if the magnetic field lines intersect with each other, then there will be two direction, which is not possible. And also magnetic field have a magnitude, so we can say that magnetic field is a vector quantity, and yeah, we can prove like that. State the modern periodic law. Okay, the modern periodic law is very easy. Property of element are periodic function of their atomic numbers. And how many rows and columns are there in a modern periodic table? So rows is 7 and columns are 8, or we can say periods are 7 and groups are 18, sorry, columns are 18. Okay, now section B, an electric motor rated 1100 watt is connected to 220 volt mains. Find the current drawn from the mains. So answer is 5 ampere. Electric energy consumed if the motor is used for 5 hours daily for 6 days, 33 joule. Total cost of energy consumed if the rate of 1 unit is 5 rupees, that is 165 rupees. And the question in the OR was the easiest one. We have to find the effective resistance, that is 20 ohm. Current drawn from the battery will be 1 ampere. Potential difference across the 5 ohm resistor will be 20 upon 3 volt. Now question 9. Okay, the question 9, they have just given the four cells of a 1.5 volt, that is 6 volt, and a resistor, a key, an ammeter and voltmeter. So we have to draw a very nice diagram. I think you can do that. And we have to state the relation between the potential difference and the current. So that is V equals to IR. And we have to draw the VI graph, taking V on the x-axis. So we have to draw a linear graph. And the question number 10. Two different forms of a carbon, diamond and graphite have a different structure and a very different physical property. Even though their chemical properties are the same, explain why. So diamond and graphite are allotropes of the carbon, so therefore they have same chemical properties. And because if we burn diamond in the presence of oxygen, we will get a CO2 only, so that means they have only carbon molecules in them. In graphite it is also the same case, that if we burn in the presence of oxygen, then we will get a carbon dioxide only. So that, and they both are allotropes of the carbon. So an definition of allotrope is that the element have a ability to form in a different physical properties, but same chemical property. And you can elaborate that much, so make it a 3 marker question. And the OR question was also straight from the book, that state reason why the carbon cannot lose 4 electron to form a C4 plus cation. It is because the carbon atom is small, so the nuclear force between the nucleus and the electron is more, and so that therefore to lose 4 electron it is very difficult, as we require a lot of energy to do that. In the second one, gain 4 electron to form C4 minus anion, so it is also very easy to get 4 electrons. We need a lot of energy, and also if it happens, then atom will be highly unstable, because there will be 10 electron versus 6 proton, so that is not possible. How does a carbon overcome this problem to form a compound? So they form a covalent bonds or they share electrons. In flowering plant, 11th question, the pollen grain are transferred to the stigma by pollination, but the female germ cells are present in the ovary. Explain with the help of a labeled diagram. Okay, the diagram you can draw how the male germ cell reaches the ovary. So diagram, you have to draw the female reproductive part of the flower, and you have to state that pollen tube helps pollen grain to reach ovary or ovule, and also in between there is a microphyge, and that there is opening between the ovule and the pollen tube. So first you have to draw a diagram, and then you have to just write that pollen tube has pollen grains to reach them, so you will get 3 mark. Name the elements whose compounds form the basis of the classification in Mendel's periodic table. So that is oxygen and hydrogen. Why did Mendel choose this element? Because he chose the element because they react with almost every element, and they are based elements in which we can classify properties, different properties. How the formula of this compound had helped the Mendel in deciding the position of an element in this periodic table? It helped Mendel to classify periodic table element position, because every element gives a different reaction, and also the element were giving specific reaction, like they will be placed in a groups, in a same group, like RO2 like CO2, NO2, all that. And then question number 13, so we have to draw a diagram showing the flow of energy from solar input to the food chain. Having 4 tropic levels in an ecosystem leads to interferences that can be drawn from the energy flow diagram. So you have to draw a diagram in which a sun is giving, like sun, from the sun to plant there is only 1% transferation, and then from plant to grass, from plant to rabbit there is a 10% energy transfer, and rabbit to, and then we can write rabbit to I think wildcat, and then tiger. And two inferences that the only 1% energy is flows is there from the sun to plants, and in the second one there is a 10% transfer of energy, and all that stuff. Okay, section C, question 14. In that question was that they state the reason for using galvanometer in the activity, and why does its needle deflects momentarily when magnet is moved towards the coil. So this question was everywhere in the sample paper. Means in every sample paper this question was there. So if you had saw 1 or 2 sample papers, you have seen this question. And in this question the galvanometer is used because it detects electric current in the coil. So why does the needle deflects momentarily when a magnet is moved? Because of electromagnetic induction, and you have to write the definition of it and just state that why it happened. And the deflection in the galvanometer is also observed when the magnet is held stationary and the coil is moved towards the south pole of the magnet Y. So we have to explain that relative motion also induces current, and again the same thing, they write the electromagnetic induction definition and then explain why. They state the conclusion that can be drawn from the existing activity. So again the conclusion is that by changing the magnetic flux we can induce current. Will there be any change in momentary deflection in the galvanometer if number of turns in the coil is increased and a number more stronger magnet is moved? So yes, again it will be deflect more. And the or question, what is electromagnetic induction? What is observed in the galvanometer when a strong bar magnet is held stationary near one end of the coil of the large number of turns? Justify your answer. So again you have to write a electromagnetic induction, that current is induced when a magnetic flux is changed. What is observed in the galvanometer when galvanometer is stationary also, because if the magnet is stationary and the coil is also stationary, so there is no current, and therefore there is no change in galvanometer. Now question 15, in what way are the sex chromosome X and Y are different in size? So X chromosome is Y chromosome is smaller than X, and name the mismatched pair of sex chromosome, that is XY. Write the number of chromosomes present in the human beings apart from sex chromosome. That is 22 pairs or 44 number of chromosomes. Which of the parent has a mismatched pair of sex chromosome? Father. Citing two examples justify the statement sex of an individual is not always determined genetically. Snail is one of the example that say snail can change their sex, so that doesn't mean that their sex is genetically. And another example is lizard, in which if they are in egg, then according to temperature they change the sorry, it was a turtle, and according to the and lizard is also one of the example, and therefore they are not genetic. So draw draw a flowchart to show that sex is determined genetically in human beings. So you have to draw the flowchart that AA plus XX, then AA plus XY, and that all that stuff only, that crossbreeding, and A plus X, then A plus X, A plus Y, and then daughter son. So it is very easy. So the whole paper was very easy. Relative from the maths and English, the science paper was the easiest one. Okay, bye. Please don't forget to subscribe, as I will be uploading all the question and answer papers of the board exam. Thank you.